Peace and blessings, and welcome back to Xbox Frontline News Live with your boy. Now, I'm gonna tweet this stuff out. Why? Because it's only me, and that's what I do. I work. I work on getting everything out the door, trying to reach more and more. Now, I know if anybody knows about the whatchamacallit that I put up yesterday, the review, go check that out. That's on Doom the Eternal. Oh, Doom the Dark Ages. My bad. I was just reviewing some stuff on Eternal right now. You know, these dudes tell you all the time, Xbox dead. What's going on, people? Yo, everybody, share it out. Right now, I'm sharing it out. Let everybody pack it up, pack it in. Let's get in here. I'm just sharing it out right now. Now, I know y'all saying, yo, King, how come you don't do the intro to the beginning? Let's just jump into it. Let's just jump into it. Because we got a lot of stuff to talk about. And, you know, basically, I just do this for an hour on Saturdays to give people a voice. I think the voice is necessary, right? A lot of people are not giving you a voice. That's right. Let us begin. I came to win. That don't mean that's ascend. That's what's up, man. Listen, my age group, my demographic is going to understand exactly what I'm talking about. Jump around, jump up, and get down. Now, I've been watching people. I've been watching false narratives. Today, we're going to talk about perception versus reality. We're going to talk about what you perceive to be real and how that perception of something can actually be real in your mind. And that can actually change your opinion on things, right? Because the perceived reality of individuals is they feel safer in groups. That's the perceived thought process. They feel some individuals feel more emboldened if they're with a larger group, right? Hold on. Water. Now, being in these larger groups doesn't dictate safety. If you've noticed in Animal Kingdom, what they do is they pick out the weakest link in the groups, take them down. But you're still with a pack, right? You're still with the herd. So being in a larger group actually doesn't facilitate safety. Actually, what it does is it shows exactly the weakness. And for the majority of some fans, let's say these PlayStation numbers, they feel that 80 million, they feel safe, right? I mean, that's what they go to, right? When you're having an argument, the argument is PlayStation sold 80 million consoles. Period. That's it. Xbox sold, 40 million consoles? We sold more than double what you sold. And you have an entry-level device that can sell, and you're just not doing it. Right? And for some mustard hearts, for some weak individuals, that itself would make you buckle. Like, I watch Twitter. Right? Don't think I don't watch you. I watch each and every last one of you buckle and fold under the pressure every day. Now, there's a wonder why, like, dudes say that Iron Lords podcast is an Xbox podcast. No, I'm the only real Xbox guy there. The other guys, Solve is a PC dude. Attic is an RPG guy. If all the RPGs was on Nintendo, damn it to hell, he'll be there. And COG is really much, he plays his games that he plays. If it's on PlayStation, it's whatever. He's ambidextrous when it comes to it. He's gaming agnostic. He's really a Sega kid, right? So, but me, I'm that jaded individual that actually wants Rome to burn, right? So when I tell you hashtag no PlayStation 6, we're going to run it up on these bums. I'm going to keep the boot on Kong's neck this whole generation. I'm spitting facts to you. See, for a large time, the PlayStation dudes would tell you, why isn't Xbox? If Xbox has so much Microsoft money, how come they aren't utilizing that? For a long time, that has been the fear, right? Because, I mean, if you look at the generations, let's keep it a bean, right? Look at the generations. Look at the Xbox One generation. And I'm talking about the first Xbox, the OG. That didn't sell that much. Actually, every console after the first one outsold it. Even the series consoles is outselling it, right? So in the back of every Xbox guy's mind, whether you want to know it or not, the insecurity that festers inside the back of the Xbox mind is, what point does Microsoft pull the plug on Xbox if it's not successful? So they're always looking for validation in some area in order to blovate and say, we're doing it, right? Because we've seen the Zune music device. We've seen the phones. We've seen Surface to some extent. Anything Mixer, anything that Microsoft and doesn't deem is making money, they kill it, right? So that fear is walking in the back of the minds of an Xbox guy. PlayStation guys see that. They know that. They know that to be true. So they play on your insecurities when it comes to that hardware not living up to the expectations of what Microsoft would expect it to be. So your thoughts is, if they cut off this, damn it, man. All right. Now that's perception, right? The perception of it is you see a perceived weakness and that becomes your reality. And then you build armor to try to defend against it. But no matter how much you defend against it, your Xbox hardware does not sell as much as the PlayStation hardware, right? So the PlayStation guy has a perceived strength. That's his perception. You see, they have a perception in safety in numbers, right? Now, we're going to get into perception versus reality. The reality is 80 million sold can't get a game out the door. The reality is 40 million sold and it's the number one publisher in the world. Perception versus reality. We're going to get into the perceived mind state of what PlayStation guys are going through and what Xbox guys are going through. We're going to talk about hardware. We're going to talk about software. Dudes had a problem with me saying that the Xbox is dominating the PlayStation platform. But the fact of the matter is, I told you, you let this Trojan horse in the door, domination will proceed. Dudes laughed me off. Nobody wants that shit, King. Nobody wants none of your games. That's your perception. You perceive that to be true. And your perspective is skewed into that thought process. But there's millions of individuals that don't have your same perception. So the reality is that's a lie. See, you've wrapped yourself up in this cocoon to think that safety in numbers. Well, what those numbers did was provide a bigger target, something to shoot at, something to hit, to find your weak spot. See, what Xbox did and what Microsoft does well is they take a company and they look at its structural integrity. And they look at the structural integrity and they say, what is the weak spots in which we can attack them? See, because we can't attack them from the outside because the perception is the better hardware is Sony. That's the perception. That's not the reality. We're going to get into perception versus reality. Doom the Dark Ages teaches you that perception versus reality is this. Equal game plays better on Xbox. Perception versus reality. You better get a pro, because going up against that X, I have you stressed out. Perception versus reality. Let's get back to it. Now, I told people that it's going to be a time when your children are born bearing the mark. And these dudes, they went crazy. They was like, oh. Let me get you what I mean by this, because a lot of you are low IQ and ignorant, and I'm going to give you my thought process when it went into that. If you feed children on a certain meal plan, they're going to grow up to have those innate tastes for that meal. What Xbox is doing is, by placing their games inside your ecosystem, they're training that kid. Let's say a kid goes, let's go Gears, right? Because hold on. Let me see. I did have something here. It was it this one? No. Hold on. I have a couple of things I got running in the background. Here. I have this one. Let's go to this one, right? All right. So a day one Xbox game is confirmed for August 26th. Right? If you have Game Pass, showing up. Guess what's showing up? Gears of War Reloaded is coming to Xbox Game Pass August. You see how this is titled opposed to a title from somebody that is on the PlayStation side? They would say something like, the title of that would be Xbox loses mainstay title to the PlayStation. Now, let's say little Tommy has a PlayStation and he loves PlayStation. On August 26th, his mother says, what game do you want? I want Gears Reloaded, Ma. He gets Gears Reloaded. And that goes well for him because he loves Gears Reloaded. And he says, Gears Reloaded is my favorite game. It's his favorite game so much that he brought the early access edition to play it early. Finished it, platinumed it, did everything that they wanted to do, and had such a great time with it. He wants Gears so much in his soul that it burns because he got a chance to play the first one. And then he says, Ma, when is the next one coming out? When is the next one coming out? Because I need it. Well, Xbox never told you that you were getting another one. What Xbox did was give you a taste. Like any good dealer, they give you a taste. But then, little Tommy goes to the internet and realizes, oh shit, Xbox has all of them over there already? See, what little Tommy didn't get was the real Gears 1. He got the Ultimate, is the remaster or the remake of the first one, but he never really got a chance to play the real one. And if you're an Xbox guy, the real ones really got a chance to play that. But then he would understand that Gears 2 is available, and he doesn't have to wait, he doesn't have to hope, he doesn't have to dream, he doesn't have to pray, he doesn't have to ask Santa Claus or whoever the hell he believes in to come down this magic chimney and get this to him. But then there's Gears 3. And if he happened to like Bart, which I do, I thought he was dope. Gears Judgment is probably one of my favorite Gears. But then he realizes it goes all the way up to 5 and it has Hive Busters. Little Tommy's kind of mad now. Now little Tommy figures, man, maybe I bet on the wrong horse. Well, don't feel like that, man. It's other avenues in the world, little Tommy. It's other things in the world other than what they've been feeding you. And if you listen to the PlayStation fan base, their perception is their reality, right? We're going to get into perception versus reality. The reality is you have Gears coming August 26th. The reality is that's a game that Xbox guys have been playing for years. The reality is, I told you, Gears Online is dead. That's the reality. For me, it is. That's my perception. How I perceive it is I'm not jumping on any console thinking I'm going to play Gears. That's not going to happen. That's not something that I'm thinking about. That's not something that I'm looking forward to. That's not something, I'm not playing it online. But would I go back and play the regular story? I've always done that. Would I go play Horde mode? Little Tommy will never know what Horde mode is because it doesn't come in that Ultimate. When he finds out that Horde mode is available for those people that has an Xbox and it's inside Game Pass, the world is yours. Now, I know you're going to say, man, but what if his mom doesn't have enough to buy an X? What if she doesn't have the money to go get an X, right? Okay, hold on. She doesn't have the money to go get an X. But let's say this, right? Let's say she does have that new LG television. She does have that new LG television because she went out and the husband said, let's splurge. Let's get the LG television. And the app is there. The app is there. And said, wow, I'm gonna hit that app and I'm gonna join Game Pass because I love Gears. Gears is my life. And they get the app and they go through the app and they get Game Pass. Now, it can't replace a traditional console. It can't do that. It won't do that. Nobody's telling you it should do that. But having the ability to play any way you like is afforded to you because you are a premier black card carrying customer that happens to have Gears on Game Pass Ultimate. This changes. Now, remember, perception versus reality. Back to the safety in numbers. You have 80 million consoles sold, but you only have one entry point in order to access your games. Well, Microsoft saw the fight and they said, damn, we can't outsell you by making great games. Shout out to Phil Dominus Maximus Aurelius Spencer, first of his name. But what we can do is place our software everywhere. Placing software everywhere changes that equation, safety in numbers. There's a reason why Microsoft has over 500 million monthly active users. It's because they're everywhere. Not just isolated side loads into this kill box, if you will, this target. See, like if you was to try to attack the infrastructure on Xbox and you try to, and it's the perception of the PlayStation guy, they're going to go to your perceived weakness and they're going to tell you, but you don't sell consoles. You don't sell consoles, and consoles is what is the metrics that everybody should go by because we sell consoles and that's our strength. Fuck your strength. I see your strength and I say, so what? I decide to sell everywhere. Not just gonna sell here. I'm gonna place my work everywhere. Actually, since you got consoles and it's all about you selling consoles, I'm gonna put my work in your house. And I'm going to let you do the work. Now, perception, how the hell they do that? Why would they do that? It's not how the console wars fought. It's fought by hardware versus hardware, King. And you got to stay in the rules. Fuck your rules. Why should I stay in the rules? I got more money than you. Why should I follow rules in a game that you rigged? Like, you rigged the game. Let's be real. From the snitching, you're the ones that snitched. You're the ones that went to the FTC. It was you and Lena Khan allegedly colluding to keep Microsoft from purchasing ABK. If it's about competition, well, let us have competition. Right? Young Odin said that. So, what part of the game is the snitching and ratting? And for you PlayStation dudes that talk like y'all street and y'all all street, since when y'all rep rats? Y'all got this Benzino box over here acting like you dudes is really about that life. I be seeing y'all in my timeline. Y'all rats. And you're repping rats, whatever. We can't let y'all get that. Come on, B. Showed you he's a snitch. Gave you all the information. You see the transcripts. Yo, your man is such a snitch. He didn't even want to show up. He just sent a video deposition on how bad he snitched. He snitched so much he got out of the country and went into witness protection. You haven't seen Jim again. That is the most disgraceful CEO I've ever seen. But you guys rep him. Y'all be coming after Phil. Stand-up dude was in court with the team. Remember that? Teflon Don. Man can't be touched. They did that. FTC is over. You want to see this work happen to you? See, now, let's give you a perception. Let me give you the perception versus reality. Mr. 98% right all the time. I'm going to run it up on you. I'm going to put that work in. Pause. This is going to hurt your feelings. See, because a lot of times you dudes like to clip. And the fact that you like to clip, I'm going to give you something to clip. I'm going to give you the work that you want to clip. What's up? Who showed up inside the chat? Who that? Oh, we got Beerus up in there. Who else is up in there? Beerus is muted. All right. So, perception versus reality. Let's get back to the perception. The perception is you thought you was winning. When quietly, Microsoft started strategically doing things. Now, the FTC thing is up, right? It's over with. And the deal is done. It's complete. What if, and I know this is a scary thought. What if Microsoft was just playing possum until the cops left? You ever thought about that? Until nobody's watching? Did you ever think about that? Because you got to look at the games that they sending over, right? Gears, like the fact that they sending Gears over, and they're sending the remake, the remastered one. These dudes is talking about is built from the ground up. No, it's not. It's the same shit. That's that one. And of course, it's built from the ground up for the PlayStation. Yeah, built from the PC to send it straight over. It's whatever. But you got Gears 1, right?
That's exactly what they're doing.
So the FTC looks over and says, damn, they send over one of their pillars. Hold up. They also send over Horizon.
Yo, I'm gonna just say hi. I gotta go. I wanted to say something right quick, but
go ahead. Say it. No.
I'm gonna
Say
leave
it.
you a message.
Say it. Say it.
And,
Say it.
He's muted, man.
Hey, oh, he's muted?
Oh, he's muted. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm muted in the chat. Hold on.
Tell him I left him a message. Or
hold on. Say it, Beerus. Say it. I hear you. I muted myself in this chat by mistake because I was doing some stuff early. Say what you was going to say, Beerus.
So basically, you know what got me pissed off?
What?
It's that they saying that everything that they are selling over there, because PlayStation guys said they buy games, right?
Right.
But they're not taking into account all the people that left Xbox that are over there.
Yeah, but don't worry about. Don't focus on that number, but focus on your point. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm focusing on that. So they're saying now that, oh yeah, we buy games, but then not taking into account all the people that left Xbox that are over there are buying those games. I'm thinking the way that Phil is thinking right now. Since those people left and don't want to come back, we're gonna give them those games over there so they can buy it because we know they like our games, and that's why it's selling.
Well, okay, I'm gonna give you why that's a false nomer, a misnomer, and
Okay.
that's the point. So I was eloquating on. But hold on, let me read this from Glacier Dawn, $5 super chat. Peace, bro. I count all my Samsung TVs as console. Really, they're more advanced than console. Most of the games are PC digital. Facts. This is true. Now, let me explain why that metric is an anomaly. You can't never gauge how many people have multiple consoles or how many people just went and just left the PlayStation. What they did notice that it was an abundance of a fan base that was over there. Now, the rhetoric that was being talked about in the FTC and one of their main arguments was cloud AI and hoarding games only to a platform to hurt the competition. Well, you can't hurt the competition if the main pillar games that you have is on the competition's on the competition's box. That devalues that whole argument with the FTC. So Microsoft strategically going along with the whole plan while they're still in litigation, knowing that their plan is to show that we don't plan to keep anything to ourselves. We don't plan to lock things off. Changes that argument to its mute. So therefore, it has to get thrown out. So again, the strategy that these trillion-dollar guys are doing is completely different. But then you got to look at the perception of a pony. The perception of the pony is, we got your games. We got the whole slate. Well, the whole slate of Gears, like I told you, is a big plate. When are these coming? And you would say, sit down and wait, King. And I would say, I don't believe you. There's no value in Microsoft remaking those games. This is the reason why Phil said on Destin's show that, yeah, there's a lot of games that's not going over. They don't have any plans on taking games that they don't see that can plant seeds inside the fan base to make it over. They don't have any plans for that. Perception versus reality. The death of hardware. Now, you have conversations like this. Hold on. Xbox has become a Game Pass machine, nothing more. Is it enough to justify Microsoft's console over a costly PC? Now, I'm going to tell you this. Conversations like this and conversations like the one Christopher Drain brought up the other day, where you had publishers stating that they didn't want to make their games for Xbox because they felt that the messaging was convoluted and they don't understand Microsoft's strategy. And then he had to walk back those statements because it was part of some podcast or whatever he was on. Regardless to what I knew, he was going to walk back those statements because those statements aren't factual. I'm actually boots on the ground whenever I do interviews. Now, I want y'all to know this. Anytime that I'm outside doing interviews, Kaga tell you, Attica tell you, Salva tell you, I ask each and every last one of these guys, is there an Xbox version? When is it coming? And why aren't you in Game Pass? That's my job for the Xbox community. To hell with whatever questions that these dudes is going to ask. I'm getting to the access of the mat. I want to know what's up for us. That's what I do. Briscoe-san, $5 super chat. I need that handheld to be compatible with the expansion card, King. With the okay. So you want it. So I had picked up this joint right here, this little SSD here. Now didn't I give y'all the information that Microsoft and Xbox had opened up the Xbox with the new firmware that allows it to have any size SSD external? Yeah, that's a reason. Soon those Steam
All right,
games
King.
is going to be available. Blessings, Beerus. Catch you in a
I
minute,
gotta
bro.
go. I'll still listen.
Thank you,
Listening.
bro. I appreciate
All
you.
right.
So you gotta really start looking at the thought process when it comes to individuals talking about the perception versus the reality. Is the hardware worth it? Is Microsoft's strategy for the hardware, right? Is Microsoft's strategy for the hardware? What do you define as hardware when Xbox and Microsoft, Phil Dominus Max and Mr. Aurelius Spencer, first of his name, comes out and told you to your face, I want Game Pass on every screen that will take it. He offered it to PlayStation. He offered it to Nintendo. Yo, what's up? You want to get down with the sickness or not? Either you're going to get down now or you're going to get down later. You're going to bend the knee at some point in time. Because right now, Game Pass is on such a roll, it makes no sense. Now, I say if they can keep this up for the next 6 to 8 months, they're going to make a serious dent in perception of the system. The perception of the system is going to be, and this is for those people that have a limited view. Remember, I said perception versus reality. You can game everywhere on Xbox as long as you have Game Pass. I showed you Samsung televisions. I showed you LG televisions. We're going to get to the hardware leak. We're going to get to the hardware, and I'm going to talk to you about perception versus reality. One person is limited in the dance moves they can do. They can only do electric boogie. So PlayStation is doing electric boogie to samba music. Stay over there. Do your thing. Xbox can dance
Dang.
everywhere. Yes, sir.
Consoles mattered when the only way you could get distribution was through the console.
That part.
That doesn't exist anymore.
That part.
So, what's amazing to me is, and you just referenced him, Christopher Dring.
Right.
What's amazing to me is the journalists can say anything. I don't know how many times Phil Spencer has said exactly what their plan is going to be, and they have not deviated from that plan.
No, they haven't. They actually stayed absolutely on course. I mean, I feel that this has been the most focused that they've been since they've launched the OG.
100%. 100%, King. And what's funny to me is you've got, I mean, I look at Windows Central and I love Jez. I love reading the stuff that he writes.
Right.
But sometimes I question myself. I'm like, dude, you're in the know, and yet you guys still continue to propagate these articles. Now, whether it's for traffic or clicks or what have you, at some point they need to be truthful, because the plan has been all this time. They never said every game was coming.
Right.
And you mentioned it earlier about the Trojan horse.
We're going to get to that. I got a whole segment on that.
They're just skipping steps is all they're doing. Yeah, okay, we're not selling a lot of hardware. Okay, that's cool. The game is software. So we're going to put software here, and nobody is saying we're going to put software there forever. So, all of these journalists need to be real careful about waking the sleeping giant, because that FTC thing that got dismissed this week, man, the last thing you want is a $3 trillion company now with no handcuffs out there able to make moves.
Well,
be real careful.
That was the whole plan. But let's check this out. New sales data highlights how Xbox is dominating. See, dudes laughed at that video that I put up. It wasn't my words, it was their words. The PlayStation 5 right now. Dominating you. Xbox accounted for 3 of the top 4 spots in April's copies sold on the PlayStation consoles. I told you, if you allow this Trojan horse into your house, what was going to happen. I told you the moment Xbox games got over there, what was going to happen. But I was told that nobody wanted these things. I was told that it won't sell. I was told that no Xbox game will make a dent into the PlayStation ecosystem. Well, my friend, that becomes a lie. Now,
Somebody's buying them.
oh, a bunch of them. See, this is the perception versus the reality. The perception of small, few, closed-minded individuals on Twitter is not the reality. Your closed mind thinking that there's only one metric for you to win this battle. And listen, let's not kid ourselves. There is a war. There is a battle. There is a perception. And the perception and reality of the matter is this. You think that Xbox is getting out of the hardware business. No, the perception is they're going to make other ways for them to sell their software. Software is the key. And I'm going to get into this stuff. Listen, $5.7 billion in 3 months is nothing to sneeze at, and Microsoft is never going to walk away from the Xbox brand. The Xbox brand is going to continue to facilitate cash. And I know a lot of PlayStation guys are going to say, but they need the PlayStation dollar. Listen, Doom the Dark Ages teaches you they will always offer that game to the Xbox game fan base first, right? In Game Pass. They don't have to worry about doing anything. Just show up to Game Pass and it's there. Pay your subscription fee and do your thing. Somebody was talking about, I got to give Apollo Dingo this thought process, because Apollo Dingo said the other day in the video that I posted that early access is hurting games. I believe early access is actually giving the customer exactly what they're looking for. The customer is looking for having access to a game that they normally won't have access to. Anytime you feel special, anytime that you're able to bypass the normies, if you will, hold on. Yahtzee with the £2 super chat, PlayStation 5, aka the Xbox Series P. Facts. Anytime that they're able to bypass the normies, people will. Everybody wants to feel special, wants to feel different. If you can have access to something that everybody wants, and you can pay just a little bit more, then it's available for that person. This is not something that you have to do. But they invented early access for the Game Pass person, right? The Game Pass person, you get early access, you're inside Game Pass. Now, normally you already paid your subscription. They're not going to get any money from you because all you have to do is sit down and wait for the game to drop. But if you want to play it early access allows you the access to that game. If it has any bonus content or whatever like that, you feel extra special because not only did you not have to pay full price for the game, you're getting early access on a game that you was going to get anyway, but you get it before everybody else. So early access is really made for them. And they found out early access works on the idiots that's going to pay full price for the game. So why not offer it? See, I don't feel that early access hurts the consumer. I actually think that early access gives the consumer a type of a security blanket. It's like
you get a choice.
Passing the velvet rope, right? Let me get my food early. If you were in a restaurant and you sat down to eat your food and you can give the waiter, and I've done it, slip him some bread, make sure my food get out of there quickly. The perception, I get my food before all of these bunkies that are sitting here. If you can get any preferential treatment in any way, as a human, we look for this. This is an endorphin boost. This is a kicker. But to the hardware leak that was shown this week, that people told me that Xbox won't be making hardware and Xbox is dead. Okay. There we go. Here we go. All right. So I'm going to give The Verge this because even though I know, a lot of other people had the information, I actually had the information, but I'm not a leaker. I don't do that stuff. That's not my thing. But all of y'all saw this. I had one guy complaining, talking about why it has fingerprints on it. Because it's the prototype version, doofus. And that's the one that they have sent to the FCC in order for it to pass regulations, because they have to drop it off. Thousands of people done touched this thing, right? So again, you have the Series S version and you have the Series X version, right? Okay, now you're going to sit there and tell me, well, King, this is not an official Xbox device. What if you're $1 trillion company and we outsource everything in America, right? Don't you? I mean, you outsource everything. Actually, forget that part. You, as a homeowner, do you have enough time to cut your own grass? I don't. So I have gardeners that come through. I outsource it. Is it my house? Yes. Are they cutting my grass? Yes. Is it my stuff? Yes. So again, I outsource my grass cutting. That happens. It gets done. Does it change the fact that I did it or they did it? Not at all. When the wife come home, it looks great. It looks fantastic. You said no one is buying an Xbox for Game Pass. Put it in color. I will never read you again, but put it in color next time because you're a fool for thinking that. You're an absolute fool for thinking that. You're going to tell me that nobody's buying an Xbox to save money. Really, though? The majority of your favorite game players on PlayStation have an Xbox. The majority of them. Why? Because they understand the financial values in doing so. If they don't, that's cool. They can just buy their games and do whatever. But again, they're going to do reviews. If they're going to talk trash about the competition, at least half the time to play it. A lot of them don't. But again, getting back to the Asus handheld. Now, this handheld is going to come out. It's going to be put towards Microsoft specs with the Microsoft UI. And when you hit that button, that thing is going to turn into an Xbox. And when you're using it, and it has no difference from whatever Xbox that you're using, and you have cross entitlement, cross progression, cross saves, cross everything, the same way that you're playing, are you going to consider it an Xbox then? Now, Xbox comes out with their official handheld that they make, they manufacture, they shipped out from them. Is that going to change your thoughts after you purchase this device? Which I might add is going to be more powerful than the S, if not equally as powerful as the X. And you could dock it at your television. So if you just get this device, and some people told me that the Switch is going to mop the floor with it. It's not meant to beat the Switch in sales. It's not meant to compete with the Switch in sales. It's not a device that is meant to take over and occupy the space in which the Switch is designed for. The Switch is designed for, it's an underpowered old machine. If you look inside it, the tech is old. It's an underpowered old machine with tech inside that is dedicated to the Nintendo user, right? Now, me, I have a Switch right here. This underpowered machine is dope. Guess what I got coming? The Switch 2. And that underpowered machine is going to fit right here, right where the Switch 1 is. And it's dope. Will it take the place of my ROG? See, I'm going to get rid of my regular ROG and get the new ROG with the Xbox edition to it. And that I can play my Xbox games with no problem. Hold on. Galveston, my brother, yo, oh my God. An example of a real father. Galveston, member for 16 months, Soldier X rank. I salute you, Soldier. Almost all theme parks have special skip line passes, almost double the cost of the ticket. Works for them, will work for early access games as well. That's right. The hip with the $2 super chat. Try to play the Game Pass. You loving Oblivion, right? I feel you, man. Listen. Perception versus reality. The perception of the pony is you can't sell more consoles than us. The reality is Xbox doesn't need to. What Xbox needs to do is continue doing exactly what they're doing. Pumping out software. Software brings in cash. Keep on making the hardware available. Now, I know you're going to say, well, Xbox raised the price on the hardware. They raised the price on the hardware because they're not taking shorts anymore. If any real Xbox dude was looking for an Xbox, you would already have one. You wasn't waiting. This is to penalize each and every last one of you dudes. Why would they take a short? Would tariffs go up or whatever? Whatever reason They decided to raise the price. I pretty much think the price is they're just not going to take any more losses. The same way Nintendo said they're not going to take any losses. The same way Sony said they wasn't going to take any losses on the PlayStation 5 Pro. That's the reason why it's $700. They're not taking any losses. These companies are no longer fitting the bill for your fandom. They already got you where they want you, and they're just going to leave it at that. Now, if it's too bad for you that the price went up and you don't have it, I already have it. I have multiple. I'm not in the business of looking for new ones. I don't have to. The price is set. Good. Now, y'all should have got in. But now, as the value goes up inside Game Pass, do you start to consider that hardware? Is hardware truly dead? Microsoft doesn't care. At this point right now, Microsoft has a cash cow in the PlayStation ecosystem that will get those extra bucks. They will get the money from Xbox. They will get the money from PlayStation. They will put their games on a PC, and they will also introduce hardware to the market that can play their games. Their software is on every major television. The hell with TCL. Don't do that. Don't pick up a TCL. Don't pick up the television at the door next to the popcorn. We don't do that here. Go get a reputable TV. Get yourself a nice television that has the Game Pass app. Play your games. Stream them. Or you can hardwire it in, still stream it. But listen, Microsoft has other ways to make money. Xbox is good. Now, you can look at the health of a publisher by how many games they put out in a year. Microsoft is putting out boatloads of games. Actually, next week, you're going to get Doom: The Dark Ages. My review is up right now. Go check out that review. Tell me how good I did. If I did bad or I did good, let me know where I can improve on my reviews, and I'll make sure I do that for you. George Parcell.
That review was banging.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. George Parcell with the $5 super chat. Hope all is well, King. Sent you a message on Xbox saying how much I appreciate your my South of Midnight review. You were spot on and the game was beautiful. Blessings. I appreciate you. Everybody that got a chance to play South of Midnight, that game is a love letter to the South. The stuff that I put in that video definitely can't get it monetized. Same thing with the video for the review for Doom: The Dark Ages. I put up video footage from the movie, and yeah, they hit me, and it was just like, you can't get paid for it, but it's cool because I do those reviews because it's the love letter to the game. Now I have a review that I've done for Towerborn, and I had to send that to Microsoft, and I'm gonna get that back, and you're gonna get that review. But there's other games that I'm gonna do review for. Jeffrey Grandia with the $2 super chat. Remember, Sony getting cash, even if it's 30% is easy. Let's talk about that. And I'm good, George. George, I want you to understand. No, that's not George Porcel. That was Jeffrey. Jeff, let me explain something. That 30% goes to the marketing, distributing, and manufacturing every PlayStation. They got to come out of pocket. That's not free. That's not cheap. That's not easy. Let me ask you a question. You have workers, right? Now, this is where your PlayStation is a worker for Xbox and Microsoft. I'm glad you brought up that 30%. I think that 30% is equal pay for an honest day's work. Sony did all the heavy lifting. They got themselves into the households of all PlayStation owners. They did all the heavy lifting. They marketed. They put a forward-facing face to the company. They let everybody feel that the PlayStation is a safe brand. And you know what? Those people that got that PlayStation said, to the Xbox. So what Xbox said, since you did all that hard work and you got inside the house, here's 30%. Just bring me back my money. Go fetch it. Go bring me back my money. You see, when you're a boss, losing 30% for a hard worker isn't bad. And Sony works very hard for that 30%. So why not let him get it? He does all the hard work. He's the one that manufactured the console. He's the one that got into the house. Well, good on you, Sony. Give me my 70%. You schmuck.
Oh my God, King, you got those sounding like they a freaking pimp.
Well, this you know what it is. I mean, I put it in better terms. I put it in salesperson terms. But if you want to do, you understand, get out on that street and bring me my meat. Pause. You understand? She gotta work
Hey,
for
I
the money.
understand.
So
You got to work for the money, man.
yo,
Ain't no business without her.
my man
Get back out
Forte.
on those streets.
This is my man, Iron Lord's own Lord Forte has stepped into the building, into the Discord. I told y'all every day it's open for everybody to jump in, and my brother jumped in. I wish I was on Iron Lords with y'all last Sunday. Dude said I was ducking the fade. These guys is crazy. Now I'm a fight fan. And last week was a weekend of fights from Friday. We first had Friday night fights. It was in New York City. It was in my city, right? And you know, you got a chance to watch that. And then Saturday, Canelo fought. And then Sunday, you had Inoue. And I was watching fights the whole weekend. It was Cinco de Mayo weekend, and the boy was drinking, having a good time. And I actually kicked my feet up and had a good time. But I watched the show, and you guys definitely did your thing. But y'all was missing, you know, the entertainment, you know, part of it. But that's cool. I did have a good time watching you guys.
No. That's okay. You ain't ducking the fade this weekend.
Oh, no. I'm definitely did. What we doing? Episode 400. Episode 400.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
400.
400. To do 400 episodes and only show up on the weekend is insane. The reflection on this is even more monumental than 300 because I really didn't think that, you know, I didn't, like, from the beginning, I thought we'd have been cashed out. I thought somebody would have came up and purchased us because I look at many weak podcasts across the spectrum and I say, damn, they got purchased. How come nobody want us? Well, I guess there's greater goals that's going to happen. I guess we're going to start our own conglomerate. I guess Iron Lords is going to start their own network. I guess that's what has to happen. I guess once we get to Japan, then we got to start bridging out and making sure that we put everybody under our umbrella and make a network. I think that's got to happen. I'm going to speak that into fruition. I'm going to make that happen. But just the same way that I told you guys, perception versus reality. The perception is y'all thought Microsoft and Xbox would get out of the hardware business. The reality is you're wishing on a star. And Xbox is going full steam ahead, whether you like it or not.
It's not an either or proposition for Microsoft and Xbox. It's an and.
That part.
And that's what people just don't seem to get. And I didn't really realize the strategy until a couple of months ago. I was playing Indiana Jones at home, and
Right.
I had to go to my mother-in-law's house, and I brought my laptop. I said, you know, I've never even tried Xbox Cloud.
Right.
I just hadn't done it. And to just pop it on my laptop, boot it up, go right from where I was playing, looked fantastic. I wasn't losing anything. Then it dawned on me. I was like, okay, I get exactly what this strategy is. And nobody else is giving you that. No one, it's not about the hardware. It's just an and proposition. You can play it you can play it on your PC and your console
Yep.
and your Steam Deck and your LG TV or the TCL monstrosity.
Oh, no, the TCL don't got that.
so-
You know, Samsung.
So that's when I understood the strategy, and it makes complete sense. It's not, they've transcended hardware, man. It's not about, I saw someone in the chat talk about consoles sold. That it doesn't matter anymore, man. That it doesn't matter because
It's
the
a
platform is everywhere. It's ubiquitous.
It's a piss poor metric when you have to say to yourself that you have to count on that 80 million. And I'm sad to tell you that 80 million is letting PlayStation down. Actually, PlayStation is letting themselves down when they have to do remake, remaster of the same exact game. I actually watched this comedian. Well, I find him to be a comedian. He talks video games on TikTok and Instagram, but he's funny as hell to me. It's a white guy and he wears glasses. I don't know his name, but he actually has some of the funniest takes on the industry. And he was like, damn, we just got The Last of Us. We just got it this day. And he have the dates and everything. And he's like, no, I don't want The Last of Us Complete Edition. And I feel him because I was one of those individuals that purchased The Last of Us, I don't know how many times. But at the end of the day, Microsoft is giving you new experiences. And I know you're gonna say, well, that Gears Reloaded is not a new experience, King. Not new for you, but it's new for them. See, that game was going to be just an update for the Xbox gamers, right? Now they say, shit, we can make money off these dudes. We can run it up on these bums. This can actually happen. Send it. You notice the moment that information came out, the FTC lost the case? You have to look at it. Perception versus reality. The reality is this. Microsoft won the case with sending you old shit. Think about it. Now, I know you're going to say Indiana Jones, but Indiana Jones in the books, the reason why Indiana Jones went over is because in the books, they said they was going to make it. It was supposed to go to PlayStation. Microsoft came in and said no and made it exclusive. In doing that, the FTC had a case. That was what Jim wrapped all of that around. The Indiana Jones. So now that Indiana Jones goes, that could be just a one-off. No, you got Forza Horizon. Oh, well. What else, though? We don't believe you. Thing is, now Doom was always going to go, and anybody said that Doom needs to be locked off is a fool. I've been playing Doom on floppy disk. That's why I started at, and if y'all watch that review, y'all see exactly. I give y'all my history, and I give y'all my love letter to them. I release stuff for my members only for a little bit, and then I release it to the public, and then y'all guys can check it. I had to release it to the public a whole lot faster than I did South of Midnight for the simple fact Doom had different embargo rules. All right, South of Midnight, I was able to hold it for you members for a little bit longer because I didn't care about, because I wasn't going to make anything off of it. Anyway, it just plays nice. To the video to the end, it's just really good. So again, if you have Game Pass, you've seen that they release Return to Savage Planet. Hopefully today on Frontline Gaming Streams, I can get into Return to Savage Planet, but I'm trying to finish it up what I got left in Doom because I'm one of those completionists when it comes to that game itself. I just want to lock off all the stuff that I get to do. Fee Marie, I missed you for Anne Marie. I missed you for a couple of days. Didn't see you in the chat. Member for 7 months, Soldier S rank. I salute you, Soldier. Shout out to Wolverine Remaster out soon on the PlayStation 5. That is absolutely messy, and I'm glad I stuck around for that members note. I appreciate you. I know you're playing Expedition 33. Haven't seen you in a couple of days. Everybody's ending it but me because I have so much stuff in my backlog. But finally, I got some room to breathe because I was playing Tower Born. Then I had to play Doom the Dark Ages. And I got that review out. So, again, say your name again, brother, so the world can know exactly who you are because you jump in every week, and I appreciate you.
Hey, DC Who Dat, man.
DC Who Dat. Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
bro.
And he also watches on Iron Lords every week. My guy, Forte. Forte, tell him who you are. Tell him your channel. Tell him everything, please. I know you're probably at work right now, but let the people know what's going on, Forte.
Yeah, definitely. Gaming Forte, YouTube, Twitter, Xbox Live, PlayStation, all those great places. You know, gamers play everywhere, and they don't take all this gaming stuff super serious. Just as long as I can play, that's all that matters. But IOP
Hallelujah.
IOP gonna be lit on Sunday. I can't wait to be a part of that. But the biggest thing I would say, Happy Mother's Day to everybody tomorrow. You know, make sure you cherish that lady in your life because they ain't here forever, and you never know when you always depend on them, and even when you're older, like I always lean on my mom. I'm 45 years old, man, and my mom is still everything to me. So make sure you honor them as much as you can over the next 24 to 48 hours, and even beyond that. But with that, man, King, it's always great to see you in here, and on the Console Warring channel. Even though you didn't console war that much today, I salute you.
It was
I salute
perception.
you today.
Blessings. It was perception versus reality. Apollo Dingo, I told you I was going to get you. This is Steam Frontline News with the King. He does this to me every time. I got to go with $2 super chat. But No, it was perception versus reality. And sometimes you got to snap these dudes back to reality because they're living in a fantasy world. Now, I got to say this, and I got to say this to a lot of my men out here. A lot of you guys are being raised wrong. You're walking around here using that word delusional. Listen, I know you're probably in your feminine energy right now, and I understand that probably this is the season for you to get in tune with your softer side. Stop using the words that women use. Stop it. I'm watching you, and you sitting there calling a man delusional is suspect within itself. I think you really need to take account of yourself because I'm going to raise you right. This is what this channel is. And I'm going to tell you like I always tell you. Try to play the game, Pass.